Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. That's Ste Howson. Manchester United beating Fulham 1-0 at Craven Cottage. And listen, Ste, we've seen some epic games over the years, me and you. 99, 91, 08. And it's safe to say that was up there with him on it. That was an absolutely mouth-watering clash between two great teams.
I don't mind if we're right, but the boring part is killing me. We're boring.
Yeah.
Why are we so boring?
You tell me. I mean, basically, I think if you don't create any chances and you don't take the we didn't. Do you know what? It's not even we didn't take chances. We just didn't create anything. I know. You're into your stats and all that sort of stuff. I think was it like the lowest XG in years or something? I read somewhere, or one of the lowest XG.
What, as a collective across both teams?
Yeah.
There wasn't a goal created between the two of us.
No. I think Martinez's goal was 0.2 or something on it, or something ridiculous. 0. I can't remember. It was so low. But
yeah, it might be 0.02.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was that low. I mean, there was, it was one of those games where there's nothing to shout about other than the fact we got a win and we needed a win. And that's, if I'm going to take a positive from it, obviously, is the fact we got a win and we needed one after our recent league results.
Jay, that's the only positive that was in that game. It was a little bit like the Rangers game where we've won it and I'm almost annoyed. Not annoyed at winning it, but you kind of like, why was that so hard? Why was that so difficult? Because it shouldn't have been. It's hard to sort of explain, isn't it? It's just shit.
How concerned are you about this? Because we've now, okay, it's a win. And I don't want to be too negative on a win, but we have to be realistic. It's not a great performance. It wasn't a great performance against Brighton. Southampton game. Again, we won the Southampton game. Not a great performance. In the league especially, and you could even throw in Rangers for that matter in terms of performance, but in the league especially, we are struggling. How worried are you that, this is going to be a long season?
You say it wasn't a great performance, right? I'll put it back on your toes here and just tell me when the last time we had a great performance was.
I think if we're going to, in the league or in general, are we sticking to the league?
Just tell me when our last great performance was.
I think the Arsenal performance, considering without 10 men, was a decent one. I think Anfield, for a large chunk of that game, we did well. I wouldn't say it's a great performance, but I thought it was a good one. But in terms of a great performance, the Etihad's obviously a great result. Was it a great performance? Probably not. I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling. I am. I'm not trying to just say that to agree with you or whatever. I'm not one of them who likes to be sort of negative towards the team, but you've got to be honest. We are struggling. We are. And this is the worry I've got, and this is what I'm getting at, is like, how worried are you? Because if you're Ruben Amorim, you can only work with what you got. I don't expect us to do much, if anything, in the January transfer window.
Really? In the 4 days left of it?
Exactly.
When we've done cock all?
Exactly. Maybe we'll loan someone else out. That'll fix our problems.
Are we doing bloke's Christmas shopping version of January transfer window?
No.
Are we going mental on the 31st?
We have done that before, though, haven't we? We've done that. Like, do you remember the Facundo Palestre, Amad Diallo, Alex Telles, Edinson Cavani, fucking Donny van der Beek afternoon, where it was like we hadn't done.
That wasn't all the same day, was it?
Palestre and Diallo were, and I don't know about Telles and Cavani. Cavani wasn't, but it was like announced around the same time. But I think two of them were.
What's he up to? Because he'd probably be by far and away better than anything that's been in a United shirt since he was in a United shirt.
And even he had a poor second season, didn't he? Because he basically spat his dummy out. I don't know. I mean,
he should have. He came in. He was absolutely sensational. He looked phenomenal on a horse. He had the best chant we've had since the one we weren't allowed to sing. He's had all of the shit going for him, and they're like, anyway, cool, let's take that shirt off you because he's come back.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm a small-minded, petty man, and I'm still rattled by the derby. I'm sorry, I am. Where he just went. He trained all week, and then the manager went, he's trained all week, but he didn't want to play. I was like, what? We need him. What's going on? It's a Manchester derby. He wasn't having it. Yeah, we could do the Cavani, but I think Cavani might end up chinning someone if he was up front for United at the minute, because, yes, the strikers aren't covering themselves in glory, it's safe to say, but also we aren't creating a lot. I mean, do you see a way out of this with these players at the minute? Do you see us getting anywhere with it? Or do you think you just got to keep going and just get to the summer and fix it in the summer?
No, the fucking Ineos need to sort something out in the next 4 days. Quick time. Or it's going to be horrendous end to this season. Like, they've ostracised Rashford. If they bring him back into the team now, they look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
If they don't bring him back into the team, they're spunking away like $1.5 million a month on wages for some fucker who don't play for us. Well done. That's a great business decision. No matter what they decide to do, they look stupid now because they've made this public showing of wanting to bin him and not been able to. For whatever reason that is. Supposedly Barcelona preparing some sort of a fucking deal. Are they? Right. So, but that absolute bastion of financial fucking fair play, Barcelona, the ones that couldn't register fucking players and have had to get rid of them because they've fucked their own finances up. Barcelona are looking at them, right, yeah, I'm sure that'll be happy days. Not a problem. Fuck me. Like, that's what we're hinging on all of our signings on, potentially, is getting rid of Marcus so you can bring in anybody. I see that we've had the bids rejected for Dorgu. There's not even any talk of a bid going in for any other position. We're desperate for a striker. Rasmus Højlund's doing a shit impression of Mark Hughes, and just not winning anything that comes up to him. He's stopped running in behind. Garnacho's probably only playing until he gets sold. There's no one that you would say right now that plays up front, Ahmad aside. And actually, I think we've looked worse with him in the 10, not because of how he's played, just because we're putting 6 defenders on the pitch and 4 attackers. We look more potent when he's playing on the right. So, there's just not enough people to fill those forward free spots that are first choice and competent. So we're playing with people that we clearly don't want to, but we've got no other choice to play. And we're wondering why we can't score goals. I didn't think we had enough goals in us at the start of the season, let alone halfway through when you've seen, and I'm an optimist, me, Jay. I know it doesn't come across as that sometimes, but I'm an optimist and I'm thinking, no, Rasmus Højlund is going to build on what he did last season. He is going to be better with another bit of experience behind him. And he's not. He's got fucking worse, right? And Xerxes hasn't been anywhere near as good as we hoped. And Garnacho hasn't kicked on to a level that you hope. The only one that's actually leveled up, or maybe he's not and he's just actually fucking playing now, is Ahmad. And Rashford is literally the Scarlet Pimpernel, right? I don't even know if he's real. Don't know if he exists. Because the only things that we see him is him fucking turning up to the ground and then fucking going home. So when you say, do I have any confidence in us turning this around? Fucking no. And if you do, you're on all the drugs. Because what the fuck are you watching to think that this could turn around? We created half a fucking... No, sorry, I over-egged it there. We created a quarter of a fucking goal against Fulham. How are we turning this around? We're 5 points off top half of the fucking table, Jay. Do we turn this around? No. We might sneak into the top half, only because teams like Tottenham are completely shit in the bed.
Just on Rashford, have you seen the recent quotes as well?
No.
He said on Rashford, he said, I would put Vital, who's the goalkeeping coach, I'm sure you knew that, on the bench before a player who doesn't give the maximum, when he was asked about Rashford. And he also says, I think it was, if things don't change, I don't change. So, again, in reference to Rashford. So he says, if things don't change, I don't change. And you can see on the bench today, we missed a bit of pace, but I wouldn't change. So,
play the kids then. Genuinely, what do we have to lose by throwing in some of these youngsters for 5 minutes? I see Ethan Wheatley's gone out on loan. He looked like he was ahead of Obi Martin in the pecking order. Does that free up Obi Martin to come and get some minutes? That's how Rashford got his minutes. He was well behind the likes of Ashley Fletcher and stuff like that, but because Ashley Fletcher was on loan, I think at Barnsley at the time, he got some fucking minutes. And someone got injured in the warm-up. And was it Rashford? No, sorry, was it Rooney and Martial both got injured?
Yeah, I
in
think
the
it was. And also,
Zlatan and Martial got injured in the warm-up.
And also, like Will Keane had been brought back in, and then he got injured, didn't he, the week before? Was it at Preston in the cup game? Do you remember? He did his knee. And it was literally like all the strikers have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he took
and
his
before
chance.
you know it, He comes on, scores a couple against Arsenal, and a career's just started. Give him 5 minutes. I'm not saying start him. I'm not saying, like, give Ibrahimov a go from the off. But could they not give you 5 minutes? Because I tell you what, if you want the mood to change at Old Trafford, a fucking youngster coming out of nowhere and winning us some games and making them undroppable, because it happens, right? I reckon it happens more than it doesn't happen. And maybe that's because the barrier to entry is really fucking high. Yeah, we don't just give debuts out for nothing. But I reckon that it happens more than it doesn't happen. Those youngsters, on debuts especially, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games down the line, they do drop off a bit. But if you go through youngsters, forwards, that make their debut, fuck me, do we have a strike rate of them scoring. Like every single fucking one, from James Wilson to Makeda to Josh Harrop to Rashford to anyone that you want to fucking name, they play, they score. And I don't know what it is. Yeah? Or they do like Januzaj did, where you go, Jesus Christ, he's the new Cruyff. Isn't it? Look at him. No, he's shite, actually, in the grand scheme of things.
He is the new Cruyff, but Jordy.
Yeah. But he will give you half a dozen games. Yeah. And we fucking need that. Right now, half a dozen games from a random fucking kid would do wonders for this team. And they'll play like, some of them kids will play with absolutely jack shit fear. And we need that, because right now, the worst thing about us is we are fucking boring.
Yeah, definitely. I think you need to do something, though. If you ain't going to do it in the transfer market, then the only option you've got is to turn to the youth. That is it. Like, and I get it. I get, like, not starting him and throwing him in and that, but giving him a cameo, fucking hell, come on. At least give us something to cheer about, because at the minute, it's not great, is it? Thanks for that, Ste. Anyway, it's a nice little trip down memory lane with all those debut goals. I was thinking, oh yeah, James Wilson, oh yeah, Josh Harrop, yeah. It's like, fucking hell, that is a bit of a strike rate.
It's probably more if you actually sat and think about it, because they've just been, Louis van Gaal had fucking Donald Love. And who else was he playing?
Well, do you remember when he paid Paddy McNair when he got man of the match on his debut? And he leapfrogged about five players that were older than him.
Basically a back three.
Yeah, and it was like, what? I remember chatting to people who watched the academy, and they were like, why is Paddy McNair starting over people? Because he's like, there's at least 4 players you'd pick ahead of him, and he had fucking man of the match, so... Yeah, maybe.
I think they get through it on like adrenaline and bollocks.
Yeah,
that they've worked this for their entire life, and they get through those first. No pressure, no instructions. Go out and enjoy yourself, son. You get that for 5 or 6 games, and then you start getting sat down. Someone puts an arm around your neck and be like, "Right, here's what you actually need to do to become a pro." But I reckon you get the grace of those 4 or 5 games, and do you know what? That might carry us to something this season. Yeah. That might be enough. Some of those little fuckers might get us over the line in some games. Yeah. Just like Ahmad did last season against the Scousers. Out of nowhere, go and have a fucking runabout, boom, winner, sound. We've got enough kids. Just fucking keep throwing them in. Do one a game, right? Let's just do one a fucking game and see if it just lifts our levels at 1%, because it might be enough for us to not be fucking boring. Because I can handle us being shit. You know how hard this job is? Talk about the game. No, I really don't want to.
I know. Maka gave me a challenge at half time to talk about the stats for 3 minutes. I passed as well, by the way. Only just. Ste, always a pleasure, never a chore. Good chatting to you. I hope you're feeling better soon, because we've had, a proper fucking movement on the watch along today about is Ste alright?
Yeah, and I've had the movement. I've had the shits for 4 days.
He's had the bowel movements.
And that has been more enjoyable than in 90 minutes I've just been forced to fucking watch.
Thanks for that. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Go and check out him on Stretford, Paddock FC and all that other jazz. You know where to find him. I've been Jay, that's been Ste. This has been a review of a pretty boring game, I think. Thanks for watching.